My guest for AM Talk this morning, Dr. Mambwa Roxon, is a political scientist, and thanks for joining me, Dr. Mambwa Roxon.
Yeah, good morning.
All right. How was your weekend?
The weekend was very good.
Okay. And I also have here Dr. Bernard Mona is the General Secretary for the PNC, and thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
And he's just coming from the Adua, or is it the one-week celebration?
Well,
as marked in Islam
section
for Adam's Maham?
Adam's Maham.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. How was it?
Well, there was such a tumultuous crowd from across the country, and I'm sure people are bewildered by the circumstances that led to the death of a regional chairman of a political party. Many wanted possibly to be sure that it is true that he died, and many just could not believe it. And many of us also went to sympathize with the family, with his tribe, with his political party. And so I think yesterday was a day of mourning and prayer. And as I said, let the MPP in particular learn from this misfortune to create a fortune out of it. The misfortune of the death of Adam should give them a platform to create a fortune for unity and cohesion among themselves and stop the constant attack of each other, and that people who have dissenting opinions within the MPP will be ostracized, will be attacked.
The atmosphere there, did you sense some level of unity?
Well, one of the ardent divisionists in the MPP was seen again with Nana Akufo-Addo at the place. You know the pronouncements of Kennedy Agyapong, for instance, leading to the flag bearership contest of the MPP. He had come out to say Richard Anani, Kojo Mpianim, and President Kufuor were planning to poison Nana Akufo-Addo. It did not receive any condemnation from Nana Akufo-Addo or any member of the MPP. I, at the time, had called for an invitation from the police, because it is not right for you to know that people are planning to poison a citizen of this land, and they will just leave it like it's a talk show. After the killing or the death of Adam, we heard him again on his platform saying in Twi that President Kufuor, Kojo Mpianim, they are happy about the death of Adam, insinuating that they are complicit in this particular murder, and threatening that Paul Afoko and Kwabena Agyapong should not go out and will not go out. Such utterances do not augur well for the cohesion of a group. And you would have thought that a flag bearer who wants to bring everybody together will use the occasion to reprimand him. But it appears that on these two occasions, one on the barrier of Adam, he was seen accompanying the flag bearer. On this Adua, he was again and well acknowledged at the function. What it means is that, or what conclusions we can draw, is that the flag bearer endorses his pronouncements and his constant attack.
Well, that's your interpretation, I guess.
That is, anybody who is around will do that. And Doctor has done political, he is a professor of political science, so he will tell you that this inference cannot delude anybody. And I think that it is important that leadership should say that, look, certain comments are inimical to our forward march, to our cohesion, and to the unity. Okay. And I thought that that occasion again...
Well, you were there, so I'm asking you a lot of the questions, though. During the funeral, we didn't have the two accused persons, reservedly the shadow accused persons, without really real facts, the General Secretary and the Chairman. Were they available?
No, they were not available yesterday. It was the Vice Chairman, Freddie Blay, that obviously had to step in. But
what interpretation do you draw from that? Because that is coming on the heels of the press conference.
The MPP is already criminalizing their own before investigations could be properly conducted. This is a party that prides itself of lawyer kukudam. And yet when a matter of this nature, which is purely criminal, which ought to be properly investigated, taken through the due processes in order for a conclusion to be arrived at, they have made a pronouncement on it. They have used their so-called invincible forces. By the way, The same invisible forces nearly caused some scenes at the funeral yesterday, but for the professional manner the security agencies handle it.
The invisible forces were there again?
They came in their number.
From Accra?
From Accra.
Or their base region?
Well, they are invincible forces, and I'm certain that the invincible only protect the MPP headquarters. They don't protect other constituency and regional offices. They were there in their numbers. And, you know, I have called for the banning of private army in our political parties. Because
it's not an army, you can't...
Well, because these are people who are not trained in any rudiments in security. They do not understand what security or professionalism in the security service means. All they know is that they have to use their body mass in order to push and shove off people and to, if you want, to abuse others. And because of that, you attack them as security. And because you have given them that tag, they do not understand what needs to be done. Proper security do not even need to be closer to an action.
Enough of it. If I give you 30 minutes, you talk.
No, let me conclude by saying that I think that Adam got a well befitting reception at his Adwa. I commiserate once again with the family. I also hope that the MPP will use his death, that the chaos, the confusion in the MPP that eventually led to his death, they will learn lessons from it and restore sanity within the front of the new patriotic party, so that together we will not be afraid that within our political disagreement we can suffer a fate like Adam suffered.
Dr. Mamborak, you're a political scientist.
Yes.
Well, as you express your condolences, etc., well, the floods and the disaster seem to, we'll discuss that though, it seemed to have drowned everything as far as how significant attendance and participation and the whole event of the Adwa would have been. But what do you make of it? The absenteeism of some notables and perhaps the presence of some others who had made utterances that perhaps also precluded a lot more respectable people from intervening in the current feud. And do you think even the feud is still existing at all?
Yeah, analyzing it politically, the comments made by Mr. Bona is absolutely correct that leadership is very important. In situations like this, when the leader fails to do certain things, just coming on radio and making an announcement that people should cease fire is not enough. There should have been physical movements, and what I mean by physical movements is for the demonstration by the leader that he's actually ready to squash the squabbles or the infighting within the party.
Well, he's held a press conference. He stated that categorically.
That was not enough. If you look at his posture when he was making those press statements.
Well, it's good that you're not a psychologist and all that. So
no, but we do study psychology. In America, when you are a political scientist, I've taken some law classes, I've taken some psychology classes. It's not like here where you're just limited to a particular course of study. In America, you study broadly before you narrow into your field. And that is why some of us can actually talk broadly about issues. If you compare his posture, you realize that it was not deep, what he was saying, because like other colleagues of mine have insinuated, he should have been there physically with Governor Japan and the chairman.
Okay.
And demonstrated.
Now they were not there.
They were not there.
And the Adwa too, they were not there.
They were not there.
Why do you have to read meanings into it?
The reading of meanings to it is that when you really want to lead, you have to show people physically that you can lead. And all the infighting emanates from his secret actions and directives as to what should be done and what should not be done. I don't think this Bolga incident would have happened if
That's
they were not direct.
Dr. Mamborak.
No, wait, if they were not direct. I'm analyzing, I'm not accusing anybody.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, you're talking about secret actions.
No, and I've not mentioned names, but I'm talking about what happened
You're a
behind the
political
scenes.
scientist, you won't mention names.
Because actions by people who are given those instructions in a secret manner, explodes like what happened in Bolga. But what I'm trying to say is that it takes a leader, a very good leader, to end infighting within the party and not dwelling too much on them, I would like to just tell you a little bit of what happened prior to the 2012 elections. You saw that prior to the 2012 elections, there were divisions in the NDC. As a member of the NDC, we were against certain things prior to the election. But what happened? When this president came on board, that thing was squashed immediately.
So you're saying it's a leadership thing?
It's a leadership thing.
That's your conclusion?
And that is what I'm trying to say, to analyze.
Well, everybody has got an opinion, so that's...
Yes, it's the leadership. If it shows how unprepared.
Okay. Now from Adua, what do you think now after this, the next step they have to take critically? Because all the actions have shown that the absence of some key individuals, especially the two, and even, let's say, representative of the former president, Kofo, and the other gentlemen who are also key members of the party, have not been present at the funerals, etc., because perhaps whether the atmosphere was hostile or not. What do they need to do after all these to make sure that, at least for the political public, they let sleeping dogs lie?
Look, you see, in politics, a party is not for one person. And that is the mistake MPP is.
Well, nobody says the party is for one person.
Yes, but that is what is happening. It's like one person is a commander. That shouldn't happen. Party is a group work, you know, a teamwork where people come together to do various things in order to win power. That is what a political party is. You give everybody a responsibility and hold them accountable so that at the end you achieve your aim. And that is what a political party is. But when you have a general, one person who says, I'm the general of the party, and nobody dares me on this, that, these fronts, then you are bound to fail. Because as NPP has come to power before, and once they've come to power before, there are structures. There are past leaders who must be involved in whatever.
So you're saying they're not minnows? So
right, because they are not involving the past leaders, and if you don't involve past leaders, it's very hard for you to get political power.
Does it send any signal to perhaps the political public? I don't want to say the voting public, who are not in the...
It does. Let me just come on that. It does, because it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous to our political dispensation. We are growing as a country. We are maturing politically. And in democracy, we are very worried, especially when things like this are beginning to happen in one of the political parties in the country, even to the point of throwing acid on a human being. That's ridiculous, you know. And so we need to fight against this thing, not only be very, very angry at what has happened in the NDC, but we must hold them accountable and make sure that, hold them and make sure that what the perpetrators of this particular crime are exposed, and that nothing like this ever happens.
Well, the courts are doing that.
Yes,
we're hoping that at least they...
Yes,
now,
nothing.
You were there.
Absolutely.
Just in 2 minutes, what do you take from there? Not about Dua or whatever it is. What do you take from there that onwardly, well, when we have finished with all the things about the condolences and the sympathies and the funeral, and we're going to be on track onto the political track and make sure the right things are done?
I read Nanado's statement that eventually took away the invisible forces from the MPP headquarters. And I thought that there was a coded message in the statement which says that after the Adua, the National Council of the MPP will consider all the various calls that have been made, and that a decision will be taken, and that decision will be a final blow to the difficulties that the MPP is having. What are the things that the various groupings are saying? All the various groupings, starting from Parliament, starting from the Council of Elders, starting from the youth groups, are saying that Paul Afoko and Kwabena Japan must go.
Must go. Yeah.
These are illegitimate groupings that have made up pronouncements.
So you say, well, you should have condemned them?
And you come and say that they will consider these groups' decisions that do not fall within any ambit of the party, and that you put an end to it. Obviously, all the groups have said one thing: Paul Afoko and Kwabena Japan should go. And that means that I am a bit skeptical. Number two, well, I saw Alan Kojo Chiremanteng, I saw Asamoah Boateng, I saw Apraku. Of course, Alan is perceived as a Kufuor person, but in the series of accusations as to wanting to kill Nana and as wanting or being excited, it is Kojo Mpienim, it is President Kufuor and Richard Anane. And in this particular events of Adam, none of them could appear there. Is it because their security was in danger? That is why they did not.
You were there. Was their security in danger? Was the atmosphere poisoned?
I think
if
that
they had come,
there was an attempted demonstration, and you know, sometimes I think we overuse people. The young boys that carry placards to come and protest against Paul Afoko and Kwabena Japan, most of them were not even of voting age. So it means they were just brought in.
You think they were masked?
I think so.
All right.
And the police was able to cure it.
We have okay, you wanted to go.
Yeah, the thing is that I think that, sincerely speaking, we need a stronger MPP so that our multi-party democracy will move forward. And we insist genuinely that the MPP has to put its house in order. We cannot continue to have MPP in this way. If this is what is happening within the MPP, can you just imagine inter-party conflicts, how they will look like? This is intra-party conflicts and is getting out of proportion. And so when we're talking, we want the intra-party conflict to minimize so that inter-party conflicts can at least be contained.